Hey guys, my name's Daryl and welcome to this edition of our Overland camper build. We're in the search of some straight wood for the spars. Stay tuned. And this is what we're dealing with. So out of a whole rack of timber, I've got 5 pieces that I figure are good enough. Dear oh dear, on to another shop. And the reason we need some more spars are we have the floor in and the walls up, which is really nice. Floor went in really easy. At the moment I've got it bolted down in 4 places. The walls went up simply, and the little outriggers I put on to give the walls some support were invaluable putting the walls up, because if you didn't have them I think they'd be a real nuisance. I could actually just put the wall up, rest the wall on those, and get someone to hold each side and put a few screws in. And for adhesive I'm using Sikaflex 252. It's a high strength structural adhesive sealant, and it looks as though it's meant for motor bodies and the like. The main thing is it's an elastic. So I think a lot of guys use like a liquid nails, which is fine in your house where you've got no movement, but with these things where you've got loads on them all the time that vary, I really think you need something a little bit more elastic than that, because from my experience with stuff like liquid nails, it just goes into a brittle plastic at a certain point, whereas this shouldn't. So we'll see how we go with this. Crossmembers, we're using Tassie Oak and a 42 by 19. I'm on a Facebook group for Aussie teardrop builders, and the guy who owns the group, Rainer, has built plenty of these things, and this is what he suggests you use. It's not all that expensive. You do have to drill it before you screw into it, but she's a nice hardwood. And you're not overbuilding, which I notice a lot of guys think they're building house frames when they're building those things. I suppose you've got to get it in your mind that when you're building something like this, it's a fine line, and we're not trying to build tanks, we're building aircraft. The main thing for me was to get a reasonably strong chassis and go from there, but this looks as though it'll be the goods. To screw those in, I'm using stainless screws. They're a 50mm long 14G screw. They also have a hex head instead of the normal Phillips head, which is a hell of a lot stronger, and you can put a lot more stress onto them when you're inserting them with a battery operated screw gun. We have our door, which is as so. Thank you, Rainer, for that. Doing the hole was a little bit interesting. I laid the door over it, got my positioning, drew my template off from the back seal of the door, cut it out with a combination of a circular saw on a straight edge to do the sides, and the rounded corners I went and got myself and splashed out on a small battery operated router, which was worth its weight in gold because it made it so much easier. So that'll come in handy when I do the windows and the like. I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of this. We're still waiting on our axle. I'm hoping that'll be here sometime this week. I've mocked up wheel and tyre placement. It's not exactly great, however, with weight distribution and how I'm planning to do things, it should work out quite well, because we need between 10 and 15% of the weight on the tongue on this thing. She's fairly solid at the moment. A lot of strength I think will come from the section you put in that separates the galley portion of the van to the sleeping portion. The other thing I think we may need to do is to add some more strength to the wall and floor joint. At this point I've got a couple of screws in through the walls into the floor. I can't say I'm that happy with that. Looking at it, I may get an L-shaped angle to run along the floor section inside, and we may put some bolts through the floor and the wall, but at the moment we'll continue on the way we are, and I can do that at any point. So that's it after the weekend. I think she's looking fine, if I do say so myself. Hopefully I'll get this axle in this week and we can get that fitted next weekend and go from there. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to follow this build, and we'll see you later. Bye now.